Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, February 28th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. You know who's happier than a camel on Wednesdays? You guys. Because right now, live and direct from the RX Muscle Studios, we're bringing you 2019's second edition of RX Muscle's Recap Thursday, where we're leading off today's show with the only action on the menu from last weekend, the Muscle Contest Japan. And bringing home gold here was a lights-out version of Kim Gutierrez, who looks like she's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. The runner-up position went to Portuguese smoke show Beatrice Biscaya, and coming in third was Thailand's Nataya Kongthan, who managed to edge out a solid effort from fourth-place finisher Sungong Kim from South Korea. And closing out a very international top 5 here was Italy's own Alessia Fachin. Some of the guys here in the office have been getting a little crazy with March Madness stuff, trying to figure out which underdog teams they can bet on to win big money. And if I were a betting man looking for a good value pick, I think I'd have a hard look at throwing down a few dollars on Panacea Pierre as a top 5 sleeper at the Arnold this weekend. Pierre is coming off one of the best seasons of his pro career, and by all accounts seems to be coming in or pretty damn close to his all-time best. So if he gets a few things to break his way and delivers on his end, I can definitely see a world where a guy like Pierre plays the Cinderella role and knocks off one of the big names on his way to a deep run. People always say not to mess with animals when they're injured, cornered, or hungry, because that's when they're the most dangerous. Well, right now my buddy Stan DeLongu checks off 2 of those 3 boxes. So it's probably a safe thing for everyone if we just keep a safe distance right now. On Monday, we saw Stanimal and his crew release a clip from one of their final pre-show tune-up sessions before he comes in hot to this year's Arnold Classic, where I've heard a few people mention his name as a potential top 5 guy. After what we saw him do last year, I don't think there's any question as to whether or not he's good enough to bang at the elite level. So all he needs to do now is take care of business, and he should end up sitting pretty by the time the dust finally settles. Where an athlete ranks in the all-time pantheon of their respective sport is one of those late-night at-the-bar debates that usually ends up with a lot of screaming and hurt feelings. But I've got some news for you. If Angelica Teixeira wins another major title, I think we can go ahead and settle that debate about who the greatest of all time is in the bikini division. Think about it. She's competing in an era where the competition is better than it's ever been. There are athletes coming out of the woodwork that no one's even heard of every single day. And let's not forget the fact that she's knocked off another potential GOAT in Ashley Kaltwasser more than once during the run. She is the unprecedented beast in the bikini division. And in my opinion, if she brings home another title this year, the conversation is over. She's at the top by herself, and she deserves her own wing in the Hall of Fame. There's a saying in boxing when a fighter is trying to figure out his opponent in the early rounds, that he's downloading his information. And when you look at the first 2 rounds of Ricardo Korea's career and how he keeps getting better as he starts to figure things out, I almost get the same feeling I do when I'm watching a fighter like Vasily Lomachenko. Like he's just out there downloading the information. With all the talk about the Derek Lunsfords and Ahmad Ashkenanis coming into this year, I think people might be forgetting what kind of progress he made in his sophomore season. So once he gets all that information uploaded into his system, this guy might start delivering KOs to anyone within arm's reach. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.